Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about 12 reasons why men would stay with you for many years and never marry you, right? Before I begin, I need to say this video is not to talk bad about men. It's not to demonize men. It's not to bring men down in any way. I'm not saying that men are bad. I'm not hating on men. I'm not saying that men are evil. This video is just for women who have been with a man for years and just have not been asked by them to marry her. You could be a woman and you're in a situation where the relationship is not moving forward and it's not progressing and it's just going on and like it's stagnant, right? And you're not being asked to get married. That is who this video is for, right? So one of the first reasons why your partner is being with you for many years and not marrying you is because he don't want to be alone. It's better to have you than to have nobody at all. And he probably likes the physical romance. He probably do not want to cut off himself from easy access to your body. And it's better to have you than to be masturbating. Maybe he don't want to spend time, money, energy, resources hooking up and dating. And he just doesn't want to be alone. So he keep you around for months and many years because you are a steady supply of sex and he can do this for on and on as much as he can. So he just don't want to be alone. That's one of the reasons why your relationship is going on and it's not moving forward and it's stagnant and he's not marrying you. Second reason why, he is using you as a placeholder, right? You're just holding a space for someone better. He probably would eventually end things with you when he actually finds somebody that he really loves, right? This could be conscious and it could be unconscious. You are probably a rebound. He's probably using you for companionship or for sex. Maybe he just got out of a bad relationship and you are there for like comfort. You are a rebound. He may not introduce you to his family or his friends. He would not take you serious. Maybe he doesn't have time in his schedule for you. He is always busy. He puts you last. He might not respect you and the only time he contacts you is to have sex. So you're just a placeholder until he finds somebody more attractive, better in bed, younger. And he's just keeping his options open. And you probably also might not be able to find somebody better at the moment. So you're just a placeholder. Third reason why your relationship is going on for many years and he's not marrying you is because he's building his finances, he's building his career, or he's getting his life together and you are helping in some way. You could be giving him advice, you could be supporting him, you could be running errands for him, you could be managing his money, you could be taking calls, you could be responding to emails, you could be setting up meetings, many other things you could be doing. Even you could also be providing financial help. And because you're doing that, it's like convenient to him and he will continue the relationship on and on because you're helping to build his career, you're helping to build his finances. Fourth reason why your relationship is going on for many years and he's not asking you to get married is because it's just convenient to have you. Life is easier for him when you're in his life. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that you act like a wife. You are doing laundry, you are cleaning, you are cooking meals, you are restocking food, you are picking up after him, you are sleeping with him, many things. And he might not love you and he devalue you. He's already receiving benefits of a marriage without actually being in a marriage. You're probably helping to pay bills. You probably already moving together. Maybe you are having joint bank accounts. Maybe you are helping him to pay off debts. Maybe you are loaning him money. And he takes you for granted and he takes advantage of you, and it's just easier because you're acting like a wife without him having to marry you. You should not be moving in together and acting like a wife and taking on mental and emotional load to take care of him without any limitation, without any condition, knowing that the relationship is stagnant and it's not going anywhere. Right? And then years pass and he could be anticipating these acts from you, and he might not reciprocate in any way. He might not reimburse you in any way. There's no reimbursement. He takes you for granted, right? And I'm not saying men cannot realize that you're acting like this and eventually marry you, but most of the time, the stories that I hear and what I see, most of the time you are taken for granted and you are devalued, and they don't marry you, and you continue like that, acting like a wife for many years, and a decade could pass you acting like a wife, right? And he never would ask you to get married. So the fifth reason why your relationship is going on for many years and he's not asking to marry you is because you don't lie, you don't cheat, you don't steal, you don't cause drama, you don't cause conflict, you're really easygoing. And these are good traits to have, but he's probably just with you because of this, because you're easygoing, you don't lie, you don't cheat, you don't create drama and conflict. That's the only reason why he's with you. And he might not be in love with you or value you enough to get married to you, but because you're so easygoing and you don't create conflict and drama, and you don't lie, she won't cheat, she won't steal from me, then he will just continue to be with you just because, right? The sixth reason why your relationship is going on years and years and it's stagnant and he's not asking you to get married is because he can use you for what he wants. He can use you and get away with it. He could be using you for anything. He could be using you for money. He could be using you for possessions. He could be you could be fulfilling his emotional needs. You are giving him attention. You give him validation. You boost his ego. He feels connected with you. You're a good companion. You run errands for him. You do many tasks. He trusts you. He could have sex with you easily and he takes you for granted. He could just use you at any time for anything, and you are not going anywhere and you are not doing anything, and it's just easy. So basically he's using you. So he probably do not value you. He probably do not really love you, and he's probably taking you for granted, and he could use you for anything, and he's continuing the relationship just to use you for what he wants. Right? Seventh reason why your relationship is going on many years and years and he's not asking you to get married is because he knows that you're not going anywhere. You have been there for many years, you never left. You're probably desperate for a relationship and you are pushed over and he's taking you for granted, and maybe you bring up the topic and you're giving him a lot of time, years and years, to get serious and to move forward the relationship and to get a more serious commitment, and he's not doing that, and you stay there, you are not going anywhere, and it continues for years and years and years, right? Another reason why your relationship is going on for many years without marriage is because you are familiar, you are dependable, you are trustworthy, you are honest, right? You might be in the friend zone for many years. You're like a homie, you're like a buddy. He can trust you. So he is probably already having sex with you and being intimate with you, but you're still like in the friend zone, and he still trusts you. He trusts you and he could depend on you. You know that you wouldn't rip him off, you wouldn't steal from him, you wouldn't lie to him. You are dependable and you're just familiar. So he continues to be with you like in a relationship. The ninth reason why your relationship is going on for many years and it's stagnant and not moving forward is because, and you're not being asked for marriage, he's not asking you to get married to him, is because he probably is fed up of dating and he just is settling for you. Dating takes time, dating takes energy, dating takes money and resources and effort. And he's just settling for you. He does not want to probably go through that, right? Having multiple women and being on dates. So he's just settling for you to avoid dating. 10th reason why he's not asking you to get married and your relationship is going on years and years and years is because the woman that he really loves and the woman that he really wants to be with is probably far away. Or he probably could not get her. Maybe she's out of his league or something and he's settled for you. Or he's waiting until she returns, or he's waiting until he can go to unite with her, and he's just being with you in the meantime. Or he's just settling for you in the meantime. So the woman that he really loves is far away, or he could not get her. She probably rejected him. She's out of his league and he's settled for you. Right? So the 11th reason why your relationship is going on and on for many years and he's not asking you to get married is because you are not clingy, you are not needy, you are not a stalker on social media, you are not violent, you are not abusive, you don't put your hands on him, you don't disrespect him, you don't cause problems in his life, you don't cause grief and create drama, right, in his life or with his family or in relationships. So you're basically a logical choice, you're a good choice to be with. He might not love you and that is why he's probably don't want to marry you, but you're a good choice. You're logically good because you are not clingy and needy and you do not cause problems and you do not cause grief and drama in his life, right? You don't get angry, you're not crazy, you're mentally stable. Some women are really obsessive, get angry really quickly, they could be bipolar, they could be argumentative, they could be obsessive, they could be nagging, and you're not that. You're mentally stable, you don't get angry, right? You don't damage his possessions, so he would keep you around because you are mentally stable and you're like logically a good choice, right? So the 12th reason why your relationship is going on for many years and he's not asking you to marry him is because there's no love involved in the relationship. He's not feeling anything for you, and that is why he can carry on the relationship for many years, right? He can't get hurt because there's no emotional connection, there's no emotional attachment, there's no emotional investment in you or in the relationship. So he does not really have to do anything to keep the relationship going, to impress you, to keep you. And you are not leaving and you're not going anywhere, and he will continue to devalue you and to take you for granted, right? He's benefiting from you in some way, and it's just easier to be with you than to be with someone else where he would have to put effort and time and money and energy and his resources to actually have a meaningful relationship, right? It's just easier to be with you without loving you and without being in love, and that means he don't have to compromise or make any sacrifices for you. He don't have to date you, he don't have to create anything meaningful with you, right? To have a loving relationship and a meaningful relationship, it takes effort. It takes effort to create emotional attraction and to create connection, right? Some of these men who they're there and they're not in love with you and they continue to be with you for years and years, they probably fear intimacy, they fear commitment, They have childhood baggage. They have been abused when they were young. They have been through some love trauma. They probably got cheated on, lied to, ripped off, used in some way, and they just want to be with somebody who they don't love so they could carry this on for years and years and years. They're probably fearful, right? And yes, you can marry without love. I'm not saying that. You can marry for business, but being with you without getting married and just having you there is just wasting your life. You're wasting your years being there, right? So those are 12 reasons why your relationship is going on and on and on for many years. 5 years, 6 years, 7, 8 years, a decade has passed, and it's stagnant. It's not moving forward. You're not in a serious commitment. It's not moving towards marriage. You're not having conversations about marriage. Those are 12 reasons why. And what you can do, if he's just keeping you around for convenience, is my advice would be to get serious with dating and relationship in your 20s. You do not have time to be hooking up and to be having hot girl summer and whole phases and saying that you're experiencing and blah blah blah. You do not have time. Your fertility will be declining by 30. Being in a relationship and dating takes years. Sometimes you're with someone and it's for a year and then you break up. You have to heal, recover, and you go back again dating, and you might meet someone again and you go for 2 years and then you realize it's not the right person, you break up. Those are years passing and you are getting older. You cannot be waiting a decade for marriage. And the next advice I will give you is after 6 months to 1 year, you need to stop waiting around and have a serious conversation about where the relationship is going, and to talk about the future and to talk about marriage. I believe that by 3 months, men know what they want to do with you. They know why they want to have you around. So by 6 months to a year, you should know that you're going to leave if it's marriage you want. I'm talking to women who want marriage. The most you should be waiting is 1 year, and that is it. 6 months to 1 year, right? Another advice is to stop acting like a wife too soon. Especially if your relationship is not moving forward, it's stagnant, it's not going anywhere. You have no business acting like a wife. Right? You should not be doing laundry. You're making meals, you're cleaning, you're restocking food, you're picking up after him, you're moving in with him. You should not be doing these things if you're not moving towards marriage. You'll be wasting a lot of energy and time, your attention and your effort. Another advice is just don't get ahead of yourself while dating. You should not be trying to help him to build his finances, making big purchases with him, joining bank accounts, moving in together, playing house. You will be playing house, moving in together, loaning him a lot of money, paying bills. Like, you should not be doing any of these if you're not moving towards marriage. And you should not be having children out of marriage. Right? Next advice, don't be a pushover. Don't be this really nice girl. You will be taken for granted. You will be mistreated. You will be devalued. You will be used. You would be taken advantage of. You should talk about marriage. You should talk about the future. And then you should watch his behavior and you should act accordingly. Right? So those are 12 reasons why men would stay with you for a decade and not marry you. And those are some tips on how to navigate this dating and relationship life. None of this is easy. It's trial and error. You have to get to know the person, yes, but not a decade waiting for a relationship, right? So that's the end of this video, and see you in the next video.